And if I heard correctly, because I've not followed very closely what Azimio have been saying, it looks like we are singing the same language of national unity. But you are stressing honesty in engagement. But I give you my promise and that of Oka that we are together on this journey. But we will negotiate structured dialogue, honest conversation, correcting even historical imbalances, because building a coalition is not easy anywhere. And I propose, Mr. President, you take the leadership of that coalition.
Two different speeches on two different days. Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka speaking on Friday, stating that there are some things in common between Azimio and Oka, and many took that to mean that a partnership, a coalition was in the offing. But the next day, Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka calling upon the president to take charge of any discussions that will be happening on the same matter. This is what you're saying tonight on 22422, and the hashtag is Newsnight. Let's take a look at some feedback. Okay, this is the first one. Georges Ongare, you're asking, is it a must for Raila Odinga to support Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka for Oka to vie for the presidency? Why can't Oka go alone with Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka as the candidate? Okay, Georges Ongare with that question. Ochieng Ochnono, you say, come on guys, the validity of this document must have been referenced on the life of NASA. If these new negotiations were to be for a NASA role, then it holds. But the context has changed. How do we onboard this document? Let's take a look at a few others. Some of them, Haman Manyora, dear Kalonzo, I thought NASA was a stillbirth. I thought some individuals, you included, rushed to the ORPP to officially dissolve NASA, even though it was a stillbirth. How then can a NASA deal be binding when it died at birth? Let's take a look at a few others. Stephen Ogola says, Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, mistaken in the law. The NASA agreement has no force of law. Importantly, Oka coalition cannot legally enter into coalition with Azimio coalition. There's no legal framework for coalition groups to enter into a legally binding Azimio-Oka grand coalition. We'll need some lawyers to help us think through that. David Makali one says, I said it before, if Kalonzo goes into a coalition with Azimio, the race will be at an equilibrium. If he joins Kenya Kwanza, game short. Let the push and pull continue. All right. Eric Mugendi, tell Wambua political deals are not marriages. They are not guaranteed. The deal was NASA deal, not Azimio's. Even Ruto is not complaining. Na aliahidiwa kumi. Okay, views of some of our viewers. Steve Othoth, so Kalonzo abandoned NASA and left Raila for Oka. He still expected Raila to support him for the presidency, owing to the now famous pact between the two. I think we'll take one or two more. I said there are too many. Mweni, ask my Senator Wambua, why can't Kalonzo go it alone? Must he be endorsed? What will he do if Baba doesn't honor that agreement? And one last tweet that we hadn't put up in the interest of time. This one is from Okay, we'll read two. Frederick Okango, as Oka, we continue to engage our political coalition partners with a view of ensuring that discussions not only are inclusive, but also transparent, honest, and structured. That's a commitment by our principles. But economist Mohamed Welie stated that, tweeted, Kalonzo Musyoka is a tough negotiator. He knows what he is doing. Trust the process. Senator Wambua, I want you to respond to Mweni. I think you are her senator. Yes. And she has two direct questions. Why can't he go it alone? And I think, and what happens if Baba says no?
First of all, we want to correct an impression that this is not a NASA deal. This is an agreement between Raila Amolo Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka, which was signed during the NASA period, okay? But that document expressly, and you look at that document expressly speaks about the validity of the document up to after the 2022 elections. So that document is binding to the two principles, not to NASA, to the two principles, Raila Amolo Odinga and Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. Secondly, it should be noted that at the time of signing that agreement, Raila Amolo Odinga was ODM presidential candidate. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka was Wiper presidential candidate. The same position that holds today. And there is an expression of interest between the two parties and other people around them, that these two people should talk and form the next government. What we are saying is, yes, let them talk, but there is a document that is signed by the two of them. The same principles, the same political parties, they need to deal with that agreement.
So what carries more weight, current discussions or the previous document?
Current discussions, ongoing discussions,
okay,
based on an historical fact. A document signed and agreed on by the two principals. But
eventually one may have to outweigh the other. What happens if...
No. You know, as I said, Maura, it is not, nobody is saying that this document has been released for enforcement. Nobody is saying that.
But it's been released for a reason.
We are saying, of course, to form the basis of a conversation. And that's what we are saying. To form the basis of a conversation and to ask the question whether all the people in this presidential race can be trusted to keep the side of their bargain. That's also a reason. Let me respond to Mweni. Why can't Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka go alone
with Oka?
With Oka. Nothing stops him from doing that. In fact, to respond to Mweni, if ODM and the ODM candidate completely refuse to engage on the basis of this document, then chances are very high that Honorable Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka and the Oka team may just go all the way to the ballot.
Now, let me just respond to that. I was really trying to avoid coming into discussing the issues of an agreement, which I don't have facts about. But because he wants to clarify something, let me try to give an analogy of an employee who gets into a job, and then in the middle of he or she carrying out their duties, you know, the terms changes. So here's the thing. The substance of the agreement seems to disappear when there are new players in the game. We have who? Who do we have? We have Jubilee. We have, what do you call it? We have ODM. It will be wrong for ODM and Wiper to discuss on a matter that there are other players around. This is a new agreement.
Which agreement is this?
My plea.
No, more. Which agreement
my plea is this. Which agreement? I'm talking about
this new agreement.
Player. Azimio is a new baby in town.
So
we're talking about NASA, which died. So Azimio is a coalition of the willing.
Who?
You know, there's ODM, there's KANU, there's Wiper, there's there's Jubilee. Let me actually put it this way.
No. For the record, no. You can't mislead.
Let me start by now.
Wiper is not a member of Azimio.
No. I pray that Wiper will come in.
But
let me finish this. Yes. And maybe try to demystify this even further. Political agreements are not legal agreements. You know, we can place them there for discussion.
Even though lawyers will sit and draft them and witness them.
It's really, I don't want to talk about the agreement. Please, don't get me there. Please don't get me there, you know, because I have a lot of respect for these two gentlemen. My prayer is that the two will come together, discuss about how to help us, the younger generation, you know, lead this country so that, you know, we can learn a lot from their wisdom. If you listen to Kalonzo Musyoka speak, you'll see wisdom emanating from his mouth. You know, when you listen to Raila Odinga, wisdom. So we've got 50 million people in this country. We should care about those 50 million people. And I'm so happy that today Kalonzo Musyoka repeated it, and please allow me to repeat it again, because my dear good friend here was trying to clarify something. He said, the interest of the country is more important than my own personal interest. And I respect him for that. I have a lot of respect for him. He knows that.
I began by saying that interest of this country must be founded on clean politics.
No, let's do it. Let's talk about it now. Let's put everything on the table. Let's put everything on the table.
And truthfulness. And let me tell you, Maura, now that my brother, I have allowed him to say a few things about us and what he thinks. Do you want to know who the real extremists in this thing are? It is him, and people in ODM who are telling Raila Odinga to disregard the document that he himself signed, and he has said it. You know, he can't even run away from it. That he doesn't understand that agreement. Perhaps he didn't even know that the agreement exists.
I refuse to comment on a document that I'm not privy to the terms of signing. I refuse that. And I'm not an extremist. He is extremist because Raila Odinga decides what.
Senator Ledama, let him finish. Let him finish. Go ahead, Senator Ambua. Go ahead.
I will not speak for a year. I'm just saying that him and those in ODM telling Raila that he can disregard his own document. You know what? It is the same narrative that I talked about, a situation where bad things happen in the political space. You know, people sign documents that they are not willing to honor. And then we say, let bygones be bygones. Which bygones? So if Maura, if then we agree, let's just take for instance, we agree and say, okay, fine. Let's forget that it happened. Let's sign another document. So what will be in that document that will make his party leader and the hardliners telling him not to honor agreements? What will be in that document that will make the coalition partners believe that the agreement will be honored?
A pre-election deals in this country.
Asked a very good question. He has asked a very good question. Let me answer it. First of all, I want to make it very clear that we are not hardliners. You know, he went on national television and he gave conditions to his party leader. So who is an extremist here? My good friend on my far right.
I gave conditions to my party leader on national TV. He took his party leader to court.
No.
On account of opposition.
Listen, I never took, you see, let me tell you, facts are very stubborn here. I never took my party leader to court. Hell no.
Oh, you did.
What I did, hey, you know what? We can put the case here, we can Google it.
Sure.
It was Ledama Olekina versus the Senate.
Yeah.
It was not the party leader. And guess what? I owned up. I owned up and I said, I'm still young. I live to fight another day. And I did that. So for me, it is not about hardlines. And let us make it very clear. He is the one who is an extremist. He's a hardline. He's misleading Kalonzo Musyoka. He's holding him hostage. Leave the man. Let the man.
So someone, Senator Ambua, someone has sent me what looks like a publication in the media. I think from an interview maybe done this evening, I'm not sure. Kalonzo quoted as saying, we have no option but to work with Raila. Kalonzo says whether Raila honors 2017 pact or not, they will still work together. I don't know. Has that come
if it is true,
to your attention?
It's just their propaganda. You know, they are very good at that.
Okay.
So Maura.
And as you make your statement, let's now discuss moving forward. Because our time is up.
Just a simple question.
Okay.
A simple question. What is the difficulty in Raila Odinga and Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka sitting down to look at the document that they signed? What is the difficulty?
Because if you want me to respond to that, I'll respond. We have a new kid on the block, okay, who was not there and who was not privy to that gentleman's agreement. Which new kid? We have Jubilee coming on board, okay? So let us not come in with prerequisites. Let us come in and say, we are willing to work together. This Azimio is bringing everyone
So what
together.
is the difficulty now?
Wait. Azimio is bringing everybody together. If you come with prerequisites or conditions and say that, you know, this was there before. No. Let bygones be bygones. My good friend, you're a young leader.
As we
want to give these guys an opportunity to lead us now so that tomorrow it will be us leading this nation.
Moving forward, you were at that press conference today at the Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka Center. Any thoughts on what happens next?
Yes, I believe on the basis of that press conference today, reason will prevail. And Raila Odinga will disregard the extremists in his corner.
I'm sure you can get another word.
And sit down and look at a document that he appended his signature on and agree with his core principle on the best way forward. In the absence of that, then I asked a question that nobody has answered, what will be in any other document, even the new kids on the block that he's talking about, that will ensure that the agreements, the provisions of that deal will be honored. It's only fair that the two principals sit down, agree on that document, and give a way forward.
Senator Ledama, tomorrow Azimio off to Nakuru. Is it ODM off to Nakuru?
I hope it's Azimio. It's
Azimio off to Nakuru.
Absolutely.
Kalonzo Musyoka says he will not.
I hope he can join us. Let me tell you. Let me put it this way. Moving forward.
Moving forward.
Moving forward. And I like that phrase. It's actually moving forward. That would be my new slogan. Moving forward. What we want is to see a coalition of the willing. We know very well that we did a great job in terms of amending the Political Parties Bill. It is now the Political Parties Amendment Act. And we created room. We redefined what a political party is. A political party is now, it can also be a coalition political party. I want to beseech my leader, His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka, to really look at the interests of the country, which I know he cares so much about this country. Come, hold hands with his brother, Raila Odinga, hold hands with His Excellency, the President of this Republic, who has done a tremendous good job and who we want to see his legacy moving forward. We want to see all the projects that he has initiated continue so that we can actually be able to deliver to our people. You know, I was really, really impressed recently when I saw all the projects that the delivery unit has been doing, and I want to see them moving forward. I want to see those projects completed. And the only way that they can be completed is by bringing men of good character, men of integrity, coming together, men and women of integrity. I call upon Martha Karua to come in. Let's all join hands. You know, let's leave this country a better place than we found it. Let's also create room for the Ledamas, the Joho, the Wambua, to be able to come in and lead this country in the future. You know, that is what we want. We don't want, let's not let things that happen in the past dictate our future. Although historically that's normally what happens, but in this case, we're in a crisis. We sit down together in the table as gentlemen and ladies, and we agree that this country, a country that just came out of a very, very tough pandemic, which is still recovering, a country which is actually currently in the danger zone because of what is happening in Russia and Ukraine. You know, we want men who can be able to reason and bring all our resources, realign them, and not allow politics to hold us back. Okay. And I believe we have that in Raila Odinga, we have that in His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka, and also we have that in His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and all others, Mother Karua included. Let us move this country forward. Okay. Let me read the 2-3 SMSs before we wrap this up. Someone here, no name, you say, please tell the two gentlemen that elections are won by voters, not gentlemen's agreements. Okay, so that's one. I agree. Somebody here says, such agreements automatically expire with a particular election. Otherwise, they would run counter to the country's constitution, which allows the winner another term if the electorate desire him to continue. Okay. What else are Kenyans saying? Someone here, no name, you say the agreement was made between Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka and Honorable Raila Odinga, so nothing has changed. An agreement is an agreement and should be honored. And nobody, I don't know why you're not sharing your names tonight. Someone said Honorable Kalonzo said there's no NASA and moved on. They all went their ways and formed other coalitions. You cannot come back and revisit something you moved away from years back. While another last message, Mwaura, the truth of the matter is ODM needs Kalonzo. They are very sure if Kalonzo runs for the presidency, no one will get 50% plus one of the votes. And ODM is worried about that. That's the discussion this evening. Those are some of your thoughts via 22422, and I've read a few SMSs as well using the hashtag Newsnight. We're going to have to leave it here because the two principals are the ones who have the answers to many of these questions, and so we're going to leave it here for now. Senator Enoch Wambua, thank you so much for gracing Newsnight this evening. Senator Ledama Olekina, thank you as well. Are both of you defending your seats in the coming days?
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
You already said 9th, you don't need a wave.
I don't need a wave.
Does he need a wave?
He needs a lot. This guy needs a lot of work.
Listen,
I'm not going to allow you to campaign here.
But I wish him well, really.
Okay. And I wish my good friend well.
He's my colleague, is my friend. In fact, he supplies me with milk. So I wish him well.
All right.
Yes, and it is true. You should make it very clear. Ledama is running for Senate, not any other seat. In future, he'll run for president. But for now, Senate.
Senate?
Yes.
Okay. That's the most I allow you to talk about your political ambitions, or we'll charge you for airtime. And we leave it there. Thank you for tuning in. It's been the first news night in the month of March, 1st of March 2022. Thank you for tuning in. And here we strive to get duty bearers, newsmakers to come and discuss some of the big issues of the day. Thanks to my guests once again for making time, and to our audience, wherever you've watched us from, Kenya, East Africa, or around